Welcome to Fun to Be Fit Over 50, real health and wellness that fits your real life. My name is Carol Denman, and this is where knowledge meets action. You already know what to do. Now let's talk about actually doing it. When we moved to Arizona, the heat sent us into hibernation mode. The weight crept up, the energy disappeared. We knew something had to change. And the best part? We got ready together. This is where my husband Lee started. Carrying extra weight, exhausted, he'd look in the mirror and know something had to give. And then something clicked for both of us. Little by little, day by day, no quick fixes, just small, sustainable shifts that actually fit our real life. And this is what makes me so incredibly proud. 60 pounds lighter, stronger, healthier, and honestly, more himself than I've seen in years. As his wife, his cheerleader, and his coach, watching him step into this version of himself, that's the best part of my job. So today, I wanted to let Lee tell his own story, the honest, unpolished truth of what it really took. If you've been wondering if real change is even possible at our age, this one's for you. Let's get into it. Here's Lee. So I'm going to read from here. So Lee, let's rewind a few years. Before the weight loss, how did you feel physically and mentally on the daily basis? And were there specific moments when you realized something had to change?
For sure. Yeah. About every morning when I woke up, I realized that there was something that needed to change. I was just carrying around a lot of extra weight. I was exhausted. Starting to really feel my age. And, I'd known for a long time, honestly, something needed to change. It was just, waiting for us folk to get on the same page or whatever. I mean, I needed your help. So I needed, again, like I said, for us both to be ready to get this done.
Yeah. Nice. Was there a single aha moment or a Siri wake-up call that made you commit to this journey with?
I don't think there was a scary wake-up call. Again, like I said in the, my answer to the question before, it was something, we do everything together. So it was something that we both needed to be ready for. And maybe you were ready before me or me ready before you. But it was something that I think that we both knew deep down that needed to get done. We just needed to both realize it at the same moment.
Yeah. Nice. Okay. For a lot of men over 50, the weight creeps up slowly. Looking back, what do you think were the biggest contributors to gaining the 60 pounds in the first place?
Just got lazy. I think that I think we were more active in California. And then when we moved here in April and it was hot as. And I think
curse words.
no, I almost dropped the one on the end of there. No, I think we went into I can only speak for myself, but I think here in Arizona, you go in hibernation mode. Like when it's 116 degrees outside, you don't feel like doing much. And I think much like other parts of the country, other parts of the world where people hibernate during the winter because there's nothing to do or it's too cold outside to go do it. We have the opposite here where you just hunker down inside in the AC and that's it. And it's real easy to get into that rut. And I think that, if hindsight being 2020, if we'd have come at the tail end of the summer and had the winter to be active and explore and get out and see what there was to do, it would have been a different ballgame, I think. But And to that, there was no excuse for the years that followed that. But I think that put me on, honestly, I think that, put me on a path. That you can't do anything in the garage because it's 140 degrees out there.
Yeah.
It's 116 degrees outside or 112 degrees outside. And you just get used to sitting inside in the AC. And that kind of set the tone for me, at least, for that, for the next 5 or 6 years.
You know what Arizona living was like.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. It was, I mean, don't get me wrong, at the moment, it seemed like just seemed natural. That's what we were doing, but year after year, it slowly started to build up and pile up. And, I just got to a point where, like for me, when I couldn't ride my dirt bike, because that's always been my like gauge of where I'm at.
Yeah.
If I can go ride there and it doesn't hurt and I'm not hurting for 5 days afterwards, then I know I'm where I pretty much have always been.
Yeah.
But to go and do it once in a blue moon, not enjoy it because it's so painful and so exhausting, and then to hurt for 3 or 4 days afterwards or longer
Mhm.
was like, summer's not a change, That's always been my gauge. Like, am I in reasonable shape? Can I go do something that I love to do and I've loved to do my whole life without it killing me?
Right.
It became, and then what happens is when you can't do it, you don't want to go. And then you end up just sitting on the couch.
Mhm.
And that's what I did. Just a complete lack of movement, and then eating whatever I wanted. I think we always ate pretty well, honestly. In comparison to most, I'm sure. We've never really been fast food people. But you told me in the past, even if you eat good, healthy food, if you eat too much of it, and then clearly I'm not doing anything with the energy that it's given me either, then I'm no doctor, but I'm sure that all contributes to it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Definitely. Okay. When I first started talking about changing our lifestyle, what was going through your head? Were you immediately on board, or were you rolling your eyes a little bit?
I definitely didn't roll my eyes. I'm sure I was probably like, thank God, it's about time. Because otherwise I'm just going to sit here and see how far I can get.
Okay. Okay, so let's talk about the food. So this was a team effort, but what was the hardest thing for you personally to give up or cut back on? And what's a healthy swap we made that actually surprised you by tasting good?
I don't think that there was, I don't, honestly, I don't think there was really much that I was worried about giving up. I honestly believe that we like to cook. Like, I like to cook.
Yeah, like that's
Yeah, sorry. Let's recamerize that. I like to cook. I actually enjoy it. Um, as long as it can be made in one pot, I'm golden. But no, I think I was worried. I don't think I was worried about the food. Honestly, I think that you and I have, like I said, I think enjoying cooking and enjoying the same foods, for the most part, enjoying healthy food.
hmm
It it wasn't that. It was just the mindset of not eating everything that I dished up, or dishing up less and just eating that and stopping. I think we already knew what we needed to do. Well, obviously, you're extremely experienced in this. And I've learned little bits and pieces as we've gone along just from being around you. But I don't think I was worried about food. The food didn't worry me at all. I don't believe it did. I don't think I ever looked at anything and said, oh no, I'm not going to be able to have that.
Right.
It just kind of happened. And I think that the way that we've done it
hmm
was important.
Yeah.
I think was really important. And that was little at a time. I don't think that I think that if we'd have made one massive leap at the start, I don't believe we'd be here.
Yeah.
I really don't. I think that it would have been too much and unsustainable.
Yeah.
And takes over your life. And then you've got all these other facets of your life that still need to keep going, and that can't just be put on the back burner while you concentrate on this.
Right.
I mean, maybe it can. If it depends on what you're doing for a living, I guess. I mean, if you make your living in the health and wellness space, I'm sure it can be your sole focus. But for me, working, being gone from the house 12 hours a day, I don't think. I think the fact that we did it little by little, and we still allowed ourselves some room to have fun and do what we wanted. It also allowed us allowed ourselves some time to just chill. So it wasn't just go 24/7. Yeah. And I knew that we're going into it that was, because we'd spoken a little bit about it, and we knew that it needed to be sustainable. It needed to be at a level that we could both just do and keep doing. And we knew that this wasn't going to be a quick fix. This was not going to be do it.
We're going for the long game.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And we set out to make it our lifestyle rather than a 3-month or a 6-month or a 1-year fix.
Wasn't you like they're going for a goal?
No.
Yeah.
I mean, you should ask me. It really was, and that's why we've been successful, I think, or at least why I've been successful, because you've allowed me the luxury of, on weekends we can, within reason, let ourselves go a little bit. Know full well that once the weekend's over, we're back on the program.
Yeah.
And I think, like you and I have spoken recently, and like my appetite is literally a core of what it used to be.
It was a real healthy appetite before. It's real healthy. So a quarter, it sounds like you're not eating anything, but it was quite big.
Yeah. I guess so. Yeah. I don't think there's any bigger than it's ever been, but again, it's like as you get older.
Yeah.
The other thing is,
slow down.
I think that was the key. When I met you, I feel like you've always eaten differently to me. Like you eat like a bird, right? You just graze and you peck and you have little bits and pieces. Where to me, there was days when I would not eat anything all day. For years, I didn't eat anything all day at work. But then I would make up for it when I come home. And it would, a lot of the times it's healthy food, I think.
Yeah.
It was purely the amount, because I'm thinking, well, I didn't eat breakfast. I didn't eat lunch. I can make up for it all in this one.
Yeah.
And then get home from work late, like I always do. By the time we've cooked and we've prepared that, we were eating, or I was eating, a big plate of healthy food, or mostly healthy food, at 9 o'clock. And then go to bed at 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
Because I need to get up at 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
So I think a culmination of all of those things put together.
Yeah.
And I knew that we needed to tweak them all a bit.
Yeah.
And if we tweaked them all a bit, then everything would start coming to line. And then all we've got to do is, once we gained that momentum, all we had to do was just keep going. And I believe that that's what we've done.
Yeah. And the big thing that we did do was change because I did get lax on, like, even the butter we buy, and that, like, the ingredients of our food, I got a little lax on, and just kind of adopted some of your habits that you had before I met you, and just was like, oh, it's okay. It's all right.
So I was really hoping that you were going to be the bigger influence, and then I would never have got to that.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It was a fun ride.
It was, yeah. I mean, we're at a different place in our life now.
Yeah.
Very, very different.
Yeah.
Very, very different.
Yeah.
That's not to say that we don't have as much fun as we used to. We just have it in a different way.
Different. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Okay. When it comes to exercise, you weren't a gym guy before. How did we find movement that you actually enjoyed and was awkward at first?
No, I don't think it was awkward. It was a little uncomfortable because I don't, I always thought I could do it. Well, actually, I knew I could do it. I've done it before, right?
Yeah.
But it was never really enjoyable. I don't know, even honestly. I think if I had more time, I would enjoy it more.
Mhm.
Even now, the fact is, it always seems like a rush for me. You know,
Because the amount of time you
'Cause
have after work.
yeah, because by the time I get home from work, it's 6:30, and then go to the gym, and by the time I get back, it's 7:15. If if I sit my backside down at all from the moment I walk through the door, it's game over. So, you know me, I have to come home, I have to go straight in and get changed, then go straight back out to the gym. Otherwise, I won't do it. The biggest part for me was like being in an environment that I really don't know what I'm doing. Like I don't know the names to any of the exercises. I don't know how to pair the exercises up. I think
Well, I did all that for you.
you did. But still, for me, it's like wanting to know it and wanting to understand it.
Yeah.
So it's not about just doing it.
Yeah.
I need to know, first of all, I need to know what to expect of it and where it's going to get me. And then obviously it needs to get you there, right? Which is clearly done. So it's worked. I'm still, the other thing that I did was when I got in there initially, and I still do it now to a certain extent, is that, again, it needed to be a long-term thing. It needed to be a lifestyle change, right? And I knew that I wasn't in any shape to go in there and do what I thought I should be doing or what I expected to be able to do.
Yeah. That's really common.
If you remember at the very start, I literally had no weight on any of the machines, right? Like I knew that if I put weight on there, that I would end up hurting myself, not having the ability to carry on, or get demoralized and not carry on. So for the first 3 or 4 months, I think there were old ladies in there that were lifting more than me.
Yeah, you were just going through the motion.
I just followed the motion because I'd got been dormant, I'd been stagnant, I'd been hibernated for so long. Like just certain movements, whatever they were would be movements that, and I sit at a desk all day. So I knew that all of these movements essentially were going to be new to me.
Yeah.
And not something that I'm used to. And they'd be the most basic movements, but I don't do any of them during the course of the day. So I was more interested in getting the scope and of the movement rather than adding a weight. And I think that was key for me.
Yeah. Okay. So be honest. Were there moments that you wanted to quit? And what did those moments look like? And how did you push through them? That's assuming you wouldn't.
I didn't. I haven't. I literally haven't. But I think that's because of the way that we set out to do it. Obviously, with your guidance, but also knowing myself that it was like this is not something that I can do now and not do again. It might have been like the activity level. It's not something, again, much like the food, it was not something that was going to be a 3 month, let's bang it out hard and then not have to do it.
Right.
It's like 52 or 53, 52 or whatever when I started this. I knew that this needs to be something that I do for the remainder of my life, and it needs to be somewhat enjoyable and maintainable.
Yeah.
So I think because we went into it that way, I've like literally from day one, I've understood that this is it now, right? Like there is no quitting, and maybe sometimes you go harder than others and sometimes you would get back a little bit more than others, but it cannot not be anything anymore. right? Like it's got to be. So, yeah, honestly, there's been individual days when I didn't want to do that day what I had to do that day. But as far as quitting the whole thing, it's never in my.
Good. Oh, it's great. Okay. So, how important was it to have me doing this with you versus going at it alone? Do you think you could have done it without a partner? No pressure.
Yeah, yeah. Honestly, I think where I was mentally and physically, I knew in myself that regardless of my life circumstances, I think that if I found myself in that circumstance on my own, it was it was um it was obvious enough to know that it was something that I had to do.
Mhm.
But you and I do everything together. Like like besides me going to work and you working from home, like every minute that I'm not at work, besides traveling to and from, we do everything together. So it just seemed perfectly normal that we would do it together.
Yeah.
But I honestly believe that if I'd allowed myself to get to that point,
Mhm.
in a different life, and I was on my own, I think that look in the mirror when you go to the doctors and they make you stand on the scale and you're emptying your pockets in the car before you go in there because you don't want 3 ounces of change in your pocket or extra car keys to influence that scale. I think I would come to the same conclusion. I would have had to figure it out on my own.
Yeah. What's something I did as your wife, cheerleader, coach that actually helped you stay on track? And on the flip side, was there anything that I did that drove you absolutely crazy?
Absolutely crazy? No, I don't. I don't think so.
Okay.
I really don't think so. I think, you being my wife, coach, cheerleader, I mean, the reality is like you live in this world, right? It's a constant thought, it's a constant topic of conversation. So being in this environment with someone that's so focused on it, someone that's like trying to help others, I mean, it just kind of permeates through this house, doesn't it? Like that's where we're at. I think,
Yeah.
you know, I think you just being so opted into this world, and I mean, you run stuff by me, you talk to me about it all the time, like whether it be, what about this, or do you think I should do that, or this person is here, and this is what I'm helping them do to, so like I'm absorbing information, just holistically without really thinking about it. So I think the fact that it's always there,
Yeah.
helps tremendously. And obviously, knowing what to do, I know that you're not going to send me down a wrong road. I know that you support me 100%. So all of that combined has been a huge help. But I honestly, I don't think you've ever driven me crazy.
Okay, good.
Well, not, at least not about this.
Did this journey change the way you see me, or did it bring a new level of respect or appreciation to our marriage?
I mean, I've always admired you. Like you and I talk about this all the time, and I know this is a kind of a new spin venture on something that you've done before. Um, I think honestly, like this is going to sound really strange. You and I, we've shopped for clothes more in the last year and a half than we did in the 12, 13 years preceding that.
Right.
And I think part of that is like at times it seemed like a chore because, the pants that fit me a few weeks ago don't fit me anymore. So some of it was born out of necessity, like having to go buy new clothes that don't look like a 10 on you. Um, but also as you get into it and you start to like take pride in how, like for me, how I look. I know that you've done the same thing, right? Like I think we've been on that journey alongside each other. I mean, I bought clothes now, but because I enjoy doing it, right?
Yeah.
Whereas there was a long period of time when it was just out of necessity because, like I said, the clothes. And I went through different iterations of it, right? It was like I've gone from this size to this size, and then it's like, oh, right. It didn't seem very long, and then all of a sudden that size fit me like the size prior.
Yeah.
I've got to go look for a small, and then it's like,
Yeah.
really, I don't know about.
Yeah. I think that's also the indicator of the fact that you weren't really shooting for a goal.
Right.
You know what I mean? When I've helped people in the past and they say want to lose 20 pounds, or whatever it is, 20 pounds. And, and then they go from like a size 10 to a size 8 and they're excited about shopping. They're not, "Ah, again, these don't
Right.
fit me anymore." They're not doing any of that. So I think that it's just
I've
interesting.
definitely done some of that.
You did lots of that.
I did lots.
Yeah, lots of
Like,
complaining
really?
about a really good thing.
Yeah. But then I think it went over, that you get to a point where I got to a point where, like, when I looked in the mirror and I put these new clothes on, I'm like, what? That looks great.
Yeah, I'm like,
Right.
why did I wear it the other way?
All of a sudden, then it becomes enjoyable because now I've got a new interest in it. Whereas before, it's like I don't really take much pride. I did take pride in my appearance, but not to the extent that I should have been or that I do now. It was like, wow. Also, I love the 90s and everything baggy in the 90s. So
Yeah.
you would tell me all the time, like, can you put some pants on that are too fit?
Yeah.
Um, but no, and I think the fact that we've done it together and it seems like we've been stepping alongside each other, right? Like we pretty much go at the same pace. Also, like so it's not like one's way ahead and one's way back.
Yeah.
We've just done it together.
Yeah. It's awesome. All right. So for other couples listening who want to get healthy together, but one person is more motivated than the other, what's your advice to the motivated spouse? How do you drag them along without being a nag?
I don't know that you want to drag anyone along doing something that they don't want to do. But otherwise, I don't think it works. Oh,
This is the best answer ever.
again, and we've mentioned this before, but we do everything together. Well, I don't understand why someone, like someone would, the thought of you going hiking without me, right? That's not something that I want. I also don't want you to be 10 steps in front of me, telling me to pick it up or, having to turn around early, right? Like, so that was a motivation for me, like for both of us, and I would say like
To stay kind of in the same shape. Is that what you mean?
no, to be at the same level, you and I,
Yeah.
right? Like
Mhm.
we're ever going to be the same shape,
No.
right?
Yeah.
But for whatever you want to do, I'm capable of doing it. I'm able to do it, and vice versa, right? Anything that I want to do, that you're capable, and the other thing is like I think that once you get to a certain point in life, like you kind of got to do it. I think that was a realization for me.
Yeah.
I don't know how that helps the unmotivated person.
Mm-hmm.
They've got to get to that point too, right?
Yeah.
I don't know that anyone enjoys anything, and I don't know that anything is certainly not sustainable. And I don't know that you get the benefits out of it if you're not enjoying it, if it's not something that you want to do.
Right. Yeah.
I feel sorry for people that, like if they're not on the same page, that would be awful.
Yeah. So I think I'd want to add a little bit to that too. I think that like motivation comes from action and action so for the motivated spouse,
Right.
the motivated spouse getting out there and taking the walk or prepping her food.
Right.
The motivated person, like doing the action.
Yeah.
That motivates not only
The person
doing it, because that's what it does. It just like puts in your brain like, oh, this is what I do.
Right.
Yeah. And then your spouse sees that. And even if they don't say anything, they still see it.
Right.
And that is like a silent motivator, so there's that way to motivate as well. And I think that is, to lead by example is the best motivator.
And I think also if you do it in a sustainable manner, right, it then becomes habit. It just becomes part. And if you're the person that's not participating in that, like, it's different if it only lasted, previous times for 6 weeks and you're the unmotivated, and it'd just be like, oh, well, I don't have to sit out with this out for very long. Right? Because they've never managed to do it more than 6 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
But I think as it goes on and you realize, okay, well, this is what they're doing now, and this is what they're doing.
Other people are starting to comment and notice and follow. And, I don't mean social media. I just mean friends, notes.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, there's nothing better than walking in a room with people that haven't seen you for a while, and then they're like, wow. You look great. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's great. Okay. So besides the number on the scale, what's the single best result of losing the weight? Maybe it's something like playing with the grandkids or having more energy at work or just getting dressed in the morning. What is the single best result of losing the weight? Even though I know weight is not what we're focusing on, but it is an indicator. It's one of the indicators of health.
Yeah. And it's a byproduct of just being more healthy and eating healthy and moving more.
Yeah.
For me, I think, like when we started walking, it was struggle, and it got easier every time. That's a huge motivator. I'll be honest, putting clothes on too, for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like really,
putting clothes on by the way that they fit, or
both, like actually, being able to put them on with it. Like I remember, like it's probably the time the boots up.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'd have to.
Yeah.
Right now, I don't do that anymore. And then to put those clothes on and for them to fit and be comfortable and be 2 or 3 sizes down.
Yeah.
What I was before, and them be comfortable. Like I could have, I'm sure with some lubrication, I could have got myself into the pair of pants that I wear now back then, but they wouldn't have been comfortable. So to be down 2 or 3 sizes and for them to fit and it be recognizable, like knowing that I am now putting on 34 pants or 32 pants instead of 36s or 38s.
Do you feel a little bit like you're stepping into yourself more when you get dressed? Like who you believe you are?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I'm now who I kind of wanted to be, how I envisioned myself in my head. Like,
nice.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Has this changed your mindset as you look toward the next 10 or 20 years? Do you feel older or younger now?
Yeah. I don't know that I really thought about the next 10 or 20 years before. Now I do. Now I look forward to it. I really do. I look forward to all the, the activities that we've got planned, the stuff that we can do, should we choose to. Whereas before it was like, hell no, I'd never be able to do that, But yeah, for sure, 110%, 110%. Before I don't think like I was really in any fit shape to be thinking about, 10 years down the road. Whereas now I think about it all the time. I think about, about what we're doing and how we've got to keep doing it you know, like now I'm like planning for the future. Before I don't think I ever did that.
Oh.
At least not subconsciously. And that may be partly, you know, getting older and our age, but this is a big influence because this really feels sustainable. I honestly feel like that we could do this for the rest of our lives.
Yeah.
I really do.
Yeah, me too. Love it. So you feel younger now.
Absolutely. Yes. Yeah.
Okay, when you look in the mirror now, what do you think compared to a few years ago?
Well, I think we've already kind of touched on that, but yeah, now I look in the mirror and I'm happy and I'm proud of what I've achieved so far. I look in the mirror knowing that I'm maintaining it. That when I look in the mirror, you know, it's good every day as opposed to every day.
Yeah.
You know?
I have a question about that.
Yeah.
Your thought when you look in the mirror and you say you're maintaining it. Do you have a fear of not being able to maintain it? So I know that's a common thing for a lot of people.
Yeah. Yeah, probably.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, no, I don't think that I can't maintain it. I know that I've got to. And I also know now what it looks like if you've done it. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I think it's because you really, you know that what we're doing is truly sustainable. So this is a question I have that will kind of like some advice that you would give to somebody. So if there was a guy out there, 55 years old, feeling stuck and unhealthy, what would you say to him to convince him that he could do this too? Oh, it makes me kind of well up a little bit thinking about that.
Yeah. I mean, if I can do it, then why can't you? Yeah. And I think if you go into it the right way, like, and the proof is in the pudding here, right? Like, it's been 2 years now. Like 2 years? Like almost.
Well, since I quit corporate America, it's been 2 years. Kind of really started a little bit before that. But
Yeah, maybe.
we put our heads down and really got into it 2 years ago.
Yeah, I would say if I can do it, you can, or anyone can. And if you do it the right way, this has not been a chore. This has not been a chore. It's not been a huge mountain to climb. It's felt from day one that this is achievable and sustainable, right? Like, I'd love to tell you that I had days where I just didn't want to quit and I have to keep climbing. It's never, I don't believe it's ever been like that. You know, I think from day one, when you knew that if we did it the right way, this would just be the way things are done, you know, and that this would be our new life, right? I think if you try and reach too high too soon, then you end up dropping off. I would say give yourself the grace of doing it gradually.
Yeah.
You know,
which is hard, but it is the way to do it.
Don't try and run before you can walk, you know, like, I don't know. There's not a bad side to this. There is not a downside to this.
Yeah.
And doing it the right way, even getting there has been enjoyable. And then obviously when you see the results and it all becomes worth it, then you just keep going. You know, and I've got to a point where, you know, my weight only fluctuates a couple of pounds every, you know, from 1 week to the next. And it doesn't feel like a lot of effort anymore. It really doesn't. This just seems normal.
Yeah.
The same as anything else seems normal. The more you do it, the more it becomes a habit, the more it just seems normal. You put that whether it's going to the gym for half an hour or 45 minutes when you get home from work or having 3 beers, right? Like, I mean, once you get into that habit.
Yeah. Pick your habit.
Yes. I'm sorry. Pick your habit. There you go. Absolutely. Yeah.
All right. Here's your final question. What does fun to be fed over 50 mean to you?
I think fun to be fit over 50 means you can also start contemplating fun to be fit after 60 or fun to be fit after 70. They might, they might not be in the future.
Yeah, I know lots of people in their 60s and 70s that are having fun to be fit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah.
Remember, prescriptions are for symptoms, wisdom is for life. Trust what you've learned, listen to your body, and keep building a life that feels good from the inside out. See you next time on Fun to Be Fit Over 50. Before we go, I want to share something important. This podcast is all about sharing real life experiences, insights, and inspiration. But it's not a substitute for professional medical advice. I'm your cheerleader and fellow traveler on this journey, not your doctor. Everyone's body is different. What works for me or my guest might not be right for you. So please always check with your healthcare provider before starting any new fitness routine, changing up your eating habits, or trying something new. You know your body best, and partnering with a good doctor is part of taking care of that beautiful body of yours. This show is for educational and informational purposes only. By listening, you agree that you're ultimately responsible for your own health decisions. Now go out there and have some fun being fit.